got to take this state by storm. Get rid of this stupid new norm. This stupid new norm. We got to step up and bring the heat. The Democratic liberal progressives is who we've got to be. Got to be. We're at the federal level, so we've got to do it at the state. Yeah, the state's next. We are Californians for change.
That's why I loved hearing you say when we first started about you lying and stuff, and you know that's what you got punished for. And so taking personal responsibility, that is where it's at, and setting up the deterrence, and also the judges, making sure these judges pass, righteous judgment and not, liberal judgment,
Yeah.
where they
You know,
let these people off.
Yeah, here's something about education is going to be huge when I'm the governor. And that's another thing that, having that platform and telling people the truth. I guarantee you that 90% of the people that are out there that are blaming all of these judges don't realize that they probably voted for them. And if they didn't vote for them, they didn't vote at all because they were too lazy to take the time to look into them to find out who to vote for. But judges are voted in. I mean, yes, there are instances where judges are appointed by a political party. When there's a vacancy, there's an appointment to fill that spot, but that judge still has to run for election again. We control them, and we are too lazy to even know it. And the people that are watching this, I guarantee you they're thinking, I vote for judges, but the reality is 100% you vote for judges. And these judges that are miserable, we could get rid of them. I'll give you a perfect example. The judge that released the inmate twice that should have been in prison for the rest of his life, and a judge released them twice, and then he murdered one of my deputies, San Bernardino County voted that person in again.
Wow.
They voted for that judge again, knowing that that judge is a liberal activist judge who is releasing all of these inmates to victimize us, and San Bernardino County voted for that person again because we're too lazy to look into it. We don't care about our election process. We just sit back and we bitch and we complain and we're pessimistic and optimistic and blame it on everybody else, because even us as voters, we don't take responsibility for our own behavior and for our own inaction and for our own inability to convince our friends and what is right and what is wrong, and how we can make our not only our state but our country better.
Yeah, and that's the reality of it. And I hope everybody's grasping this and understanding the reality of it, because I'll tell you, it's pretty dire in this state right now, and we need a Bianco governorship. We need a Bianco administration in this state, because I don't see anybody else with the experience, like you said, but I don't see anybody else that's going to implement these things. I've never heard anybody talk like this, no other candidate talk like this, to where I can see California being gold again.
Yeah. Here's the bad thing about politics is they will, because they're listening and watching what I do and what I say. Their platforms, every single one of them, what they have right now, their platforms are just copying what I said when I announced. I was really the first Republican to announce. I wasn't the first, but I was the first legitimate Republican to announce that I was running. And so everyone's just copying me. And then the reality is, it's not hard to come up with a platform on the Republican side, because we all know what's wrong. It's easy to say, well, I have to fix this. I have to fix this. I have to fix this. All of these things are broken. The difference between all of them and me is I've actually been doing it for 32 years. I've been serving my community faithfully for 32 years. There's nothing in my background that says anything otherwise. You've elected me to a county-wide, the head of a county, the most elected person in Riverside County, the highest elected official we have. You've elected me twice. And I not only have done everything that I said I was going to do, I've done more, and I've done it cheaper than what I said I was going to do it. And we've actually changed government to better our community, and we've made it less expensive, less waste in our government. No one else can say they have done that. It's just going to be a promise that they can. No one else is going to even say that they can win an election because none of them know whether they can or they can't because they've never even tried. So it's going to be an interesting election process. Not only is my resume going to rise above everybody else, but the ability that I can actually win an election, I mean, that's huge.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
absolutely huge for any person to just jump up one morning and say, I'm going to run for governor and I'm going to win. That's not being real.
No.
That's not being realistic. It doesn't happen that way. It can't happen that way. You actually you have to have something in your past to show that you can make a difference in California. If not, you're no different than the other politicians that we have voted for every single year that just promise during an election year and then fail to come through because when they get there, they're more concerned about themselves and about their own elections and about their own agenda rather than what's best serving other people. And that is the big difference between me and everyone else.
Right. And, that's one of the things why my wife and I are so adamant about getting you elected, and we're doing everything in our power, along with a lot of other people in Californians for Change. We're trying to do everything that we possibly can. I mean, we're out there too, meet and greeting people, and we're talking to friends. We're talking to and Hispanic friends I have a lot of them, and they want to vote for you, and
Yeah.
they're going with you, the common sense approach. And so, that's one of the things that people can do. People have asked me, what do we do? How do we get this over the hill? I mean,
Yeah, so I'll give you, I'll tell you exactly how we do it. We stop being so pessimistic. We have to be optimistic that we are in a perfect time to take back California. We have everything in our favor. We have a complete failed political system that has destroyed California that we had nothing to do with. All of that is in our favor. I mean, if the only argument you have is what do you have to lose? The direction you're going, nothing's going to change. Try something different. That's all you got to do is try it once. If it doesn't work, go back to voting Democrat. But
stop
try
looking
it
at the
once.
problem, look at the solution.
Oh, yeah. And there are so many things going right with California, but it's only going right because of the people. And when you talk about Hispanics, and every single politician is saying, I'm going after the Hispanic vote, I'm going after this. It's like, to me, you're the problem. If that's what you say, you're the problem because I don't want somebody's vote because they're Hispanic. It's like, how about you're just a good person and you're in California? How about you're a Californian and you want our lives in our community to be better? I don't care if you're Hispanic, Asian, black, white. I don't care where you came from. I don't care what nationality you are. How about you just want California better? And how about everybody in California wants California better? So if you're a Californian, that's who I'm going after, not individual demographic groups. I want Californians to say enough is enough and we're going to go in a different direction.
Absolutely. And so, also, too, with business owners, the cutting regulations and um, now also, too, gas prices. We have self imposed taxes on gas that we can alleviate. We can get rid of those, correct?
Day one. You can get rid of them day one because they changed the rule several years ago where they couldn't increase taxes without a major majority of the and then that looks bad on the legislature when they're passing gas tax increases because no one wants more expensive gas. So they changed the rule and made it a fee. You don't have to get approval for a fee. You just impose the fee. And so those regulatory fees that are really taxes, just in a different name, that's why gas just keeps going up and up and up. But with a stroke of a pen, you can do away with those regulatory fees. And now we lower gas a minimum close to $2 an hour or $2 a gallon, we can lower it just with a stroke of a pen. And
Wow.
then the regulations that prevent us from drilling oil, that's another stroke of a pen. And now we pump our own oil instead of importing 80% of it. We pump our own. It's fraction of the cost when you pump your own instead of making other countries rich off of our backs. How about we just pump our own oil? And maybe if we pump our own oil and we pump so much that we're selling it to other states and other countries, then we can actually do away with all the taxes in the state because we're making revenue from the oil. That's common sense. That's reality. That is the optimism that, man, if we just get the right person in place, we could turn this state around to an amazing state to make it where everyone in the country wants to come to California again instead of California being the laughingstock of the United States.
And that's what it's been for a long, long time. I
Yeah.
mean, we moved, my wife and I moved to Texas in 2003 for an opportunity and everything. And they say, "Oh, you're from California? Oh, okay. Well, gee whiz." They look down on you, but they want to take your money.
Oh
They,
yeah.
they just look down. I mean, they took so much money from me and they swindled money out of me. And, that just proves the point that we are the laughing stock and we can be taken advantage of. Or a lot of Californians have moved out of state, and a lot of those states go, "Oh gosh, you're from California? Oh geez,"
Oh
you
yeah.
know,
They're making songs. I mean, don't California my Texas. I mean,
really.
it's crazy that in one generation, in one, two for sure, but almost one generation, a failed political agenda has destroyed our state. And it's turned us from the beacon of hope for the United States into the laughingstock of the United States. And everything that's bad happening in the country happened in California first, and it spread to the rest of the country. And we have to take that back. And the reality is if that's what we say when we're all out talking is about we're going to do this, we're going to do this. But you know what happens in the Republican circle? And you can get online, you can get on the comment sections and everything else. The pessimism is disgusting. It's like never happen, never happen.
Mhm.
California will never. Republicans will never win. Democrats are going to cheat. And those people are just so disenfranchised they don't vote. And don't tell me that they do because we already know that 50 to 60% of the state doesn't vote.
Wow.
That's embarrassing. If those people that do all of the complaining and all of the bitching and just do nothing but say how bad it is, if you would all get out and vote, we could fix it in a year. Next November, California would be fixed.
And if you don't get out and vote, people, don't complain.
Oh yeah. And
Don't complain.
this is what I want to tell everyone. Everyone. I want you to tell all your friends. I want you to find out when their birthday is so you can send them a birthday card. But the reality is you just need to know their birth date because when it comes time to election time, we're going to start when the ballots get mailed and you're going to call all your friends every single day because all you need is their last name and their birth date and you can find out if they voted. And you just keep calling your friends and say, "Did you vote?" And they're like, "Yep, I did." And they're like, "No, you didn't. I can see right here you didn't vote. So I'll come get your ballot, fill it out, and I'm going to go turn it in for you to make sure that you vote." We can make sure that the laziness and the apathy toward elections in California is reversed in one election, and we can take our state back.
Yeah, that's awesome. And what I wanted to get from you, going back a little bit, I saw you at the Harvest 2025 Harvest celebration with Greg Laurie, and he called you friend, my friend Chad Bianco. So my question is, does the majority of the church endorse you, or will they get out and vote in this election?
That's a fantastic question. The church. I'm obviously a an unapologetic Christian. I have my Christian values, and that's what I live by. I've been active in Sandals Church. I've been active in Harvest Church. My kids went to Harvest first through sixth, kindergarten through sixth grade. I've known Pastor Greg for 30 years. Pastor Greg for 36 years. Pastor Greg is how I became saved. It was at Harvest Church and listening to him up there behind the pulpit, and that is how I was saved. So then with the work relationship that I have, especially now, I talk to him all the time. There's a need for law enforcement officers to have a faith background and to have something to fall back on. And Harvest Church does a great job in allowing us to get that law enforcement ministry, and they have a fantastic law enforcement ministry. So I've known Pastor Greg for a long time. Obviously, he knows me, my character. I know probably the majority of the people in that church. Sandals Church is the same way. It's some of the problem is that people that go to church, the majority of people that go to church don't vote. And unfortunately, we have a society that's been misled to believe that churches can't talk about religion, and they've been threatened with their nonprofit. We know that's absolutely false, and they can do anything that they want. It's government can't get involved in churches. Churches can get involved in government. Our country was designed with Christian values. So you can't say there's a separation of church and state. The difference is that separation is government cannot control the church, not the other way around. And people don't understand that. They don't believe it. But the pastors, instead of telling their congregants that they need to get out and vote and they need to vote for their values, they avoid it because they're afraid. And we're having more pastors speak up now and do the right thing and convince people that it's okay. Um, I can't tell you the numbers. I know that if any Christian looks into this next election, again, I mean, we had a pastor now that's throwing his hat in the ring to run for governor, and the problem that we're going to have, and this is what I need everyone out there to do, you need to contact these other people and tell them to drop out. There are 68 people running for governor right now. And
Wow.
the more Republicans that get in, all you're going to do. So the pastor obviously is a great guy. He's a God-fearing man and everything else. Back to the reality, he's no different than Steve Hilton. He is not going to get all of those Democrats to vote for a right-wing, very hard Christian conservative candidate that's a pastor that's going to be preaching that stuff. Democrats aren't going to vote for him. They oppose that now. So that's an automatic turnoff. And all he's going to do is take votes away from me. That's all Steve's going to do is take votes away from me. And because we have this jungle primary where the top two vote getters go to November, we'll end up having two Democrats go to the November race. And we'll just sabotage what we have right now, which is a perfect opportunity for a good Christian conservative person with values, ethics, honesty, and a desire to shrink government. We have the perfect opportunity to get that person in. But everybody taking away, watering down the vote, we're going to ensure that it's never going to happen.
Yeah, and that's what you said in our first interview. It's a perfect storm. We have a good opportunity, the perfect opportunity right now. And I'm trying to talk to so many people. I'm answering a lot of questions. I'm questioning people. Why do you believe that? Why do you believe that that person is the best when they do this, that, and the other? And yeah, I've listened, like you said, I've listened to some of Steve Hilton's podcasts, and some of them to me just didn't make sense. Not as much sense as what you're making today, because you've got the common sense approach, and one of the things that I was going to also ask you was the fact that we could have the greatest governor in all the world, but if we don't have a good state assembly and a good Senate, it really doesn't matter too much. Do you agree with that?
Only to an extent. Riverside County is predominantly Democrat, and my Riverside County board is 4-1 Democrat. So I have an extremely good working relationship with them. You can't, I mean, there's one that I will never have a good relationship with because he is a political activist. That's all he is. He is not here for what's better for Riverside County. He's here for the far left political agenda. The other Democrats on our board are not. They are here for what's best for Riverside County, which is why we get along so well, because that's all I'm here for. And we come up with reasonable, common sense solutions for the issues that are posed to us, and we make those decisions. And that's the approach that I'll take in Sacramento. I will take a hard line against the far left, and I will expose the far left for the insane anti-Californian agenda that they have. And the regular, normal, middle of the road Democrats are naturally going to come to my side anyway because it's common sense. I don't necessarily disagree with them. I disagree with all of the lunacy that's being pushed by the far left that the mainstream Democrats don't have the courage to stand up against. They don't believe it, but they don't have the courage to stand up against it because they have a governor that goes along with it also. But with a governor that's actually common sense, middle of the road, that is going to negotiate, that's going to compromise for what's best for everyone, that's what they're looking for. And I will be the only person that's offering that.
That's awesome. Um, One of the things that I did look at, because I was going to ask you about debating, like Katie Porter and all them, because if you get in the ring with Katie Porter, or, if it's between you and Steve Hilton, I would choose you in a heartbeat and twice on Sunday, I'll tell you, because there was a article that I ran into by the LA Times, and we talked about the liberal media, and it's really hard to believe the liberal media and what they say. But if they bring out truth once in a while, it's hard to receive it from them. But you were in a dinner with the in the Sacramento Chamber of Commerce, and Katie Porter was there. Uh, Cohen Lock, I can't say her name. Cohen Lockus,
Kudalakis,
yeah.
Elaine.
Katie Porter and the former mayor Antonio Viragosa, which definitely don't want him in there at all. But
Mhm.
they were basically saying that California is too expensive. California doesn't have a chance for business owners, and um, they're the problem. That's what
Every
it's so
single
weird that they don't
Democrat.
see it, that that's a blind spot for them.
Yeah, it
Or
was.
are they
I
just saying it?
Oh no, they are absolutely blind. We're talking to businesses that are being destroyed by California policies. And they got up there and said that we need more California policies. There's the business environment is so bad and so taxed and so regulated that we need more tax and more regulation to fix the business. That's basically what they said. It was like Twilight Zone. We are either going to have California government continued or worse with any Democrat that's running. Any Democrat that is on the ballot, California will stay the same or it will get worse. There is no chance for us to get better because that is not any of their beliefs.
Right. And Konalakis, basically, she's a millionaire off of her father's real estate
She's
business
a
and
she's
everything.
a billionaire.
She's a billionaire. Oh,
She
I
is a
stand
billionaire.
corrected.
She is a
Wow.
billionaire.
And she was telling you that you're part of the government. You'll have a government pension. You'll be fine.
Yeah, she actually, the way it came out is she was basically insulting me for having a government pension. So I've worked in law enforcement for 32 years now, and she's basically insulting me because the billionaire is insulting me because I'm attacking government and the failures of government. And she just says, like, somehow that I'm bad because I'm going to get a government pension. I mean, that's all awesome coming from the billionaire who makes all these decisions that harm us that don't affect her. Yeah, I mean, it was crazy. It was like, wow, I'm being scolded by the billionaire for offering 32 years of my life of service to the residents of Riverside County. It was crazy.
It lacks common sense entirely. I mean, I'm just standing there with my jaw open, like, don't they see this? Don't they
Yeah,
see what's going on? This is ridiculous.
yeah.
This is
It was
horrible.
bizarre. This,
And unfortunately, there's a lot of people that will vote for them. I don't understand that mentality. Either, like you said, they're not doing the research and they're not getting getting in there and finding out they just vote Democrat, and it's just like no. But we do have the perfect opportunity right now to turn this around. And so I hate to close here, but I need to close. And what I'd like to do is have you take the last minutes and any comments, questions, whatever. What can you tell people out there for this election? Because this is a huge election and we need to win this.
Yeah, so this is I want to tell you, I want everyone to realize how easy this election is going to be if we're all on the same page. We have to convince the people that don't have a chance of winning, not that they're not good people, not that they're not a good candidate. We have to realize and acknowledge they already know it. They're being told, they're just not being told enough that they don't have a chance of winning. And we've got to rally behind the person that can make this happen. We have probably once in a lifetime chance to fix California in this next election. And we have to take every advantage of it. And we have to be positive because everything is in our favor. The Democrat Party is in shambles. The Democrats are saying that they're likely to vote for a Republican. We just have to pick the person that they believe that we believe that they're going to vote for. And that's in the public safety realm. Democrats want to be safe. That's me. That's my life. That's what my priority will be, that all of Californians are safe. We have a safe environment. And then we'll fix the other things that run down there with the infrastructure, the crime, the all of those things that follow down the path of what the responsibility of government is. And if we are positive, and if we do convince everyone that, oh my gosh, this is it, we've got to all keep rallying, we're going to do it. We can take this into June and November and actually fix California. I encourage you to jump on board with my campaign. You can sign up at biancoforgovernor.com. You can sign up for information. You can find out anything you want about the campaign in there. You can sign up to volunteer. I seriously want 1 million volunteers across this state that are out pushing for a better California. And then just as important, maybe even more important, is campaign donations. $1 is helping this campaign. $5 helps this campaign. If you are very wealthy and you can contribute, the max for my race is $39,200 is the maximum donation. If you are wealthy, business or whatever it is, and you can afford that and you're willing to invest in a better California, we absolutely need that. If I get 8 million votes, that's what it's going to take to win. If every single person that voted only donated $5 to the campaign, that's $40 million for my campaign. We can't lose. We will win this election. We will be able to combat all of the lies, and we will be able to get a positive message out there if everyone would just give $5. So please go on the website, sign up to help, sign up to donate. From this point forward, we are very optimistic about our chances, and we are going to do everything we can individually to make sure that we push this needle forward and we make sure that that California dream is once again restored.
And one thing you said, I said I was going to close, but I've got to ask you this because I was watching an interview with Larry Elder, and one of the things that he said when he was running, President Trump reached out to him and said, I'd like to endorse you, and he never reciprocated that. Have you reached out to President Trump, or has President Trump reached out to you as far as endorsing your campaign? Because I would love to have him endorse your campaign and get it over the hill.
Yeah, we're doing everything we can to get every endorsement that we could possibly imagine get. We are in talks with President Trump's team, and eventually there will be a time where we have that personal conversation with the president and ask for that endorsement. Right now, we're doing everything we can to work with them, make sure we're doing the right things for California. This is a very important election. California election is a very important election for the president because the balance of the House falls in the hands of California. And so politically, we're working very hard to make sure that I'm bringing me being on this ballot is going to bring more people out to vote. And the people that are coming out to support me and vote in this election are going to be more along the lines of voting for Republican representation for Washington. And so those are the things that we're working out now. So the answer is kind of like yes and no. No, we're not particularly talking about my election right now, but we're strategizing of what's best for California. Eventually that face-to-face conversation between me and the president asking for that endorsement will happen.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Sheriff Bianco. You got to admit it's got a good ring to it. Thank you for being with us, and thank you for giving us your time. And we'll keep praying for you, and we'll keep talking, reaching people out there. And God bless you, sir.
Thank you very much. I appreciate being on.
Hey, everybody. I hope you liked the interview, and I hope it revealed everything that you asked, that it revealed the answers to that, and much, much more. With me, it filled me with hope, and I hope it filled you with hope as well, because this is who we need in the governor's seat. Nobody upon nobody, and just like Sheriff Bianco said, nobody has the experience that he has, not only in law enforcement and knows the law of California, but also has dealt with the liberal Democratic progressives and their agenda for years. And he has dealt with businesses. I mean, he has experience that far exceeds every other candidate that is running. And so that's why we are backing here at Californians for Change Sheriff Chad Bianco. And November 3rd, 2026, we got to make the final decision. The final answer has got to be Sheriff Chad Bianco.